Springtime in Wisconsin brings us many things: the sunshine, warmth, a gentle breeze, and our dear friend, the pothole. But how are potholes even formed? How do tarry blankets of construction and engineering perfection turn into these miserable, terrible rubble holes? Well, all potholes start off as roads, and with a little bit of water and a little bit of wear, our beautiful friends begin to emerge. On YouTube, the Department of Transportation for Michigan, Road the Rob Guy, and a few UW-Madison professors explain and provide beautiful illustrations to how potholes form. And I'm going to be translating some of that for you today. So, let's take a look at the life of a pothole so that the next time you hit it and your life flashes before your eyes, you can understand what exactly you just hit. First of all, potholes begin as roads. And I'm going to basically glaze over years and years and years of constructural engineering education to say that roads are made up of 3 layers. And that's the subsoil, subbase layer, the base layer, and the asphalt layers. Most potholes begin in the subsoil and base layer, and then they get translated to the asphalt layer. And that all happens due to water and wear. Let's start with water. There's 2 types of water damage, and it's water erosion and ice expansion. Water erosion is when water comes from outside of the road, just like that little dot right there. Give him a friend too. Water comes in from the outside and it places itself inside these layers. When it does that, it disturbs the structural integrity of the road itself. And this layer, which is normally compacted and flat, is no longer compacted and flat. It becomes a little bit bumpy. And so we see a little bit of bumps on that layer, and that translates upwards to the asphalt layer. And we start to see the asphalt give us that deformity. The other way that deformities form is through ice expansion. And that's when the water, which is originally in these layers, is frozen. And when water freezes, it expands. The water that's now expanded disturbs these layers and creates deformities in the structure as well. And we see this in the asphalt too. Now, asphalt shrinks and swells as it cools down and heats up. So naturally, we would see most potholes occur after the winter time, when the asphalt shrinks in from being cold and then expands from being warm. That's when we see these deformities form the most. We don't see them happen a lot in the fall or the summer because there's not a lot of temperature shifting as much as in the spring. Now, since the water is in here, how does it really turn into a pothole? Well, sometimes the water itself can make a pothole, but a lot of times it requires wear and usage. Now, this can be normal traffic, this can be cars, this can be SUVs and vans, but sometimes it takes a heavy hit or two from oversized trucks. And this is something like a residential road trying to lift up and hold a semi-truck. That would cause a lot of potholes because we have this force going down onto the asphalt, and since asphalt moves and shifts, it's going to dip down from all that weight, and we're going to see that in a weak spot caused by water crunch down and create what we know as the pothole. And this pothole is noticeable. It breaks the asphalt. It's not just a deformity. It's now a punch into the earth. And that's when potholes are confirmed kills. That's when they emerge from their innocuous cocoons of the road and become beautiful, ugly, terrible, disgusting butterflies. So you see, it all starts with a simple road. But then that simple road gets some simple water. And that simple road and simple water gets some simple wear. And now we have this complicated problem of a pothole. To conclude, here's a poetic thought. The life of a pothole is a story. It's a story, and it's the congregation of human engineering, tackling the geography of the land, and in the middle, meeting at a level of physical action. So, I urge you to go out the next time you drive, count the potholes, and read those stories. Read the history of your community. Drive safely, and always, always watch for potholes.